Well, I don't think you're in the right.
Y'all ready?
Somebody had it 74 and 75.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd like to show that all aldermen are present with the exception of Alderman Blackman. If you would, Mr. Stephen Glorioso will lead us in the invocation, and Alderman Wade will lead us in the pledge.
Everybody, please bow your head. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and all the blessing it has brought. We ask for your guidance and presence on this meeting. Please give us the strength and resilience to face whatever challenge may come our way, and help us to be a source of love and support for those around us. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
Make a motion to accept the agenda.
Amended agenda.
Amended
Yeah, amended.
agenda.
We got a motion by Alderman Pfeiffer.
Second.
I think executive session was supposed to be removed.
Personnel and Police Department needs to be removed.
Do I need to state that in my motion? I'll make a motion to accept the amended agenda with the removal of, anybody have that?
Personnel and
Personnel, the police department and executive session.
Okay, got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Stennis. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we've got two proclamations tonight, and we'll start off with 250 years of faithful service by the United States Postal Service. Mr. George Collins and Dana Amos, come forward. Mr. Amos? So, 250 years of faithful service by the United States Postal Service. Whereas the United States Postal Service has played a vital role in the nation's development, building roads, railways, and airlines, and remains a cornerstone. And whereas the USPS fulfills the universal service obligation, guaranteeing equal and affordable service to all Americans, no matter who we are or where we live. Whereas the USPS serves 169 million addresses, 6 and often 7 days a week without taxpayer funding, operating solely on revenues from postage and products. Whereas with its public mission, the USPS anchors a 1.3 trillion mailing and package industry that supports more than 7 million jobs nationwide. Whereas the USPS provides good union living wages, practices fair hiring, ensures equal pay for equal work, and is one of the nation's largest employers of veterans. Whereas even as communication habits evolve, the USPS remains essential for secure correspondence, mail order medication, financial transactions, mail-in voting, e-commerce, and expanding new services. Whereas the USPS is owned by the people, authorized by the Constitution, created by Congress, and entrusted to bind the nation together as a true national treasure, government of, by, and for the people. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Bobby Cox, Mayor of the City of Ocean Springs, proudly recognize the 250 years of service by the United States Postal Service, gratefully honors the dedication of postal workers, and affirms its support for a strong and thriving public postal service for generations to come. Thank you all very much.
miss it.
We may come before we sign for
Y'all have anything you'd like to say?
I would like to thank Mayor Cox and the city of Ocean Springs for recognizing 250 years of service to the Postal Service and honoring it as well. We would like to present Mayor Cox with the 250-year anniversary stamps that the post office has developed on it. And it has some historical features in the back as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We would like to encourage everyone here tonight to visit their local post office tomorrow and get a book of these historical stamps for themselves. Thank you.
While you're at it, it's a great opportunity to support breast cancer research, so come by and pick up some breast cancer stamps while you're there. Thank you.
Okay, we have one more proclamation, and it's a pretty big one also. We have the Lady Greyhounds Volleyball State Championship team here with us tonight. If y'all don't mind, I'll call you Coach Daigle, if you would like to come on up. And I'm going to read off the players. I don't know if they're all here, but
Yes.
Taylor Douglas. Taylor Daly. Ruben Smith. Maggie Douglas. Arvin Sainamont. Isabel Brown. Riley Register. Taylor Edmondson. Ashley Bonson. Jasmine Johnson. Lucy Longa. Lucy Pepper. I heard it was really a great trip up to Brandon and Madison Central, and y'all did great. Representing the school, the city, and we're all very proud of y'all. I'd like to just read this proclamation to you, Coach, and honoring Ocean Springs High School Lady Greyhounds. Whereas the Ocean Springs High School Lady Greyhounds volleyball team captured the Class 7A state championship in 2025, achieving the program's first ever 7A state title with a commanding sweep over Madison Central. I like to say that. Whereas the Lady Greyhounds completed an extraordinary season with an overall record of 40 wins and 5 losses, demonstrating outstanding skill, teamwork, discipline, and determination. Whereas under the leadership of Coach Christina Daigle and her coaching staff, the team has exemplified excellence both on and off the court, serving as role models for dedication, perseverance, and sportsmanship. Whereas the players, coaches, families, and supporters of the Lady Greyhounds have brought great pride to Ocean Springs High School and to the city of Ocean Springs, representing the spirit and the strength of our community with integrity and heart. Whereas this historic victory highlights the value of hard work, unity, and community support, the very qualities that define the people of Ocean Springs. Therefore, I, Bobby Cox, Mayor of the City of Ocean Springs, do hereby proclaim and recognize Tuesday, October 21st, 2025 as Lady Greyhound Volleyball State Champions Day. Citizens, schools, and local organizations to join me in congratulating the Lady Greyhounds, Coach Daigle, and the entire coaching staff for their historic championship season and for bringing honor to our great city. Coach Daigle, if you would like to address the...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. First, I just want to say thank you to you, Mayor Cox, and to the whole city for the unbelievable and overwhelmingly exciting support that we got. We had watch parties downtown. There were so many people that traveled up to Jackson to support these girls. As he said, we played Madison Central, so it was only about a 15-minute drive for them, but we absolutely matched their Their stands, it looked like a home game for us as well. The football team brought a whole bus, that everybody rallied, all of our sponsors donated to be able to allow students to come, so that really helped, you know, the girls feel loved and supported and energized throughout the match. But this is just an incredible group of girls. We just spoke at the school board, but I wanted to call them up here as well. They are not only incredible athletes and volleyball players, they are plugged into their communities, they are serving in their churches, they have incredible grades, they're all around great young women who are great role models for all of the young 10-year-olds that were at our games that want to be just like them. It's a standard that we have in our program for a reason, but these girls are incredible role models. They represent our school and the city so well, and we are happy to celebrate them, and thank you so much for recognizing them tonight.
Behind the board, we can
Go ahead, River, you get the
You gotta realize almost the whole board is greyhounds. Former greyhounds.
Should we push these to the back? Push your chair to the back. And everybody up to the counter. There you go.
Call a meeting today.
Keep on moving them down some.
I'm the member.
Look at all the information.
Hey, it's a volleyball team. Come on, Nate.
I'm gonna squat over here.
You definitely don't need to.
You need to squat. You need to squat.
Gotta see the property. Anyway.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Everybody, say go Greyhounds.
Greyhounds.
Thank you. You wait till next year now.
Exactly.
All right. I'm gonna say whereas before everything. Where? Thank you. Well, that's enough for tonight. Let's go George, we should pull those doors shut, if you don't mind. Thank you. All right, now we're on to agenda public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 5 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes, only regarding issues that are listed on the agenda. Please identify yourself and the agenda item. Anybody would like to address the board? Mr. James?
Good evening, James Lewis, item 5A. I have read the statement here, but I don't understand. Maybe there's a little clarification of what we're doing here. So authorization to award and execute contracts and related documents for the city lobbying service. What does that mean?
It's services, Mr. James, that we've had on a yearly basis to do lobbying at the state level and the federal level for the city.
So who has the authorization to execute? Is that you?
The board.
The entire board? That's all.
He would be doing the executing then.
Yeah, they would be doing the executing. We would just be appointing them.
You would sign.
I will sign it, but the board's gonna.
Correct. Okay. We're on the same page. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to address the board? No? All right, we'll move on to old business. We have 5A, authorization to award and execute contracts and related documents for city lobbying services. Anybody have anything they'd like to address with this?
As far as the board,
Yes, I mean, we're on it. We're
Yeah.
up for discussions, moving forward with.
I guess I was a little confused on the process. And I thought before the meeting started, we had a clear determination, but it looks like right before, there was other information provided, so I guess I'm entering this meeting a little confused and not clear. I don't know how far down the
Let
road.
Sarah address
So I want to clarify, I apologize to the new members. This is your opportunity to discuss the RFPs. We sent it out and we told the lobbyists they would be evaluated by a percent system, and that's why you got the evaluation sheets. That doesn't mean you have to go with majority or your pick. Like, this is your time to discuss why you rank them that way. If you want to go ahead and vote to approve, I would probably recommend, since most of y'all are new, is to discuss a little bit. Maybe table it to the next board meeting where you can all, or you may agree today, I don't know. You are allowed to interview these. This is professional services. You are allowed to ask for contracts. You are allowed to negotiate. But you have to pick before you're allowed to negotiate. You have to pick firms. Like, you can't just say, I don't negotiate with all of them. And David, correct me if any of that was wrong.
You're correct.
So that's on me for not clarifying that before I sent out the evaluation sheets. Now, we did require certain documents be submitted with the RFPs. That's the form you got today. It was brought to my attention when you turned in the yes and no's that there were differences. So I reviewed them all personally, and only 2 firms turned in everything required. So those are technically the only firms y'all can opt to choose. Or you can go into interviewing them or discuss among yourselves at this point what your thoughts are on those firms. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we go with Capital Group for the next 12 months.
I'll second.
All right, you got a motion and a second. Motion by Alderman Tillis, second by Alderman Pfeiffer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. We got not a new lobbying firm, we're staying put. Congratulations. Okay, we got old business 5B, 1015 Government Street parking garage lease. David, you want to address this, please?
All right, so there was a, this is for the 1515 parking garage. I was tasked with doing the evaluation of the requirements in order to make this procurement. You know, the city can procure property underneath the procurement statutes, which includes a lease. So what that required, and y'all authorized some time ago, was to receive an appraisal of, and what the restricted appraisal was that was included in your agenda packet was done on the appraiser did on the cost approach for the garage, and what the appraiser determined was that under normal circumstances, under market conditions, that the annual rent of a parking garage like the one at 1515 would be $600,000. The proposed lease that has been made is that the rental payment by the city is $1, but The city also has to provide casualty insurance, which is for the property, and to provide liability insurance and some street sweeping, cleaning services for the parking garage, keeping it picked up, and pay for a security system and the power bill, or 85% of the power bill. For the casualty insurance, the property owner will pay 15% of the casualty insurance. So essentially, the lease is that the city's leasing 85% of the parking garage, which basically is the everything above the top floor, the bottom ground floor.
Right.
And the appraisal and all of that is provided and will be included in the minutes of the board to satisfy the procurement requirements for the state when you're executing the lease of real property. The other provision of the lease is that the lease term would end when the term of this board ends, which is, I believe, June the 30th of 2029, and then is renewable for additional terms. It can only be renewed for the term of a sitting board, so it can be renewed every 4 years. And with the insurance as well, and there's a provision with regard to insurance that if and when the city has the ability to self-insure, that they can come to an agreement with the property owner to go with that insurance structure rather than paying the premium for market insurance. But that will take some time in order to build up a fund of money in order to be able to set that aside for self-insurance.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Steve.
So, are we locked into having a contract? In other words, do we have to opt into this contract, or is that something that's optional where we don't have to do that?
You don't have a legal requirement to enter into.
So if we want to leave 1515 Government Street, let them do their own parking, let them charge whatever they want to do, they can do that on their own?
They could.
Yeah, because it concerns me that we're going to be paying out, $75,000, $80,000 a year, where this parking we only need a few times throughout the year. We're going to be charging the city taxpayers $200 to $300 a day for this parking that we only need several times a year. So it's concerning to me that we're going to lock into this contract for the next 4 years and pay out this amount of money. So I'm just, kind of brainstorming here, like to hear something from everybody before we lock ourselves into this amount of money.
I echo those concerns as well. There's another portion, if I'm understanding correctly, that says the city is to get an abatement for the parking portion, tax-wise, or pay for 85% of the real property taxes. Is that the entire amount?
The abatement is for the portion that the city is leasing, since the city's not going to pay taxes to itself. Since the city's leasing that property, that it would be abated, the taxes could be abated.
In the terminology, it said attributable to the property, and in the definition, I thought that it said property implied the entire structure.
So it's
I may have misunderstood.
85% of the structure is what you're leasing, is just what you're leasing. The city's leasing 85%, so the abatement would be for the portion that the city, so the city wouldn't pay itself property taxes.
So, Mr. Mayor, I've got a question for you, David. What are we looking at dollars and cents wise? I want to kind of get a good breakdown so everybody has a good understanding of this.
For this year, the
Yes,
insurance,
I don't have the
the insurance cost is $18,000 and something for this year.
Okay, for the remainder?
Yeah, for the remainder. Next year, it would go to around 28, 29 per year. And then hopefully we'll be able to get to where we can self-insure.
And that's only on the 85% that the city will be occupying? Okay. Second question I have on it is the city is going to do security just on the premises of the 85%. So the ground floor would be strictly on 1515. Is that correct?
That's the way it's drawn up. We're responsible for 85%. They've got the other 15.
Okay. So we're only looking at
$28,000 a year for insurance to cover it, plus all the maintenance that could be accrued over the time. The other question I had is the 2% money eligible to pay for this?
That would have to be researched. I do not know that answer.
All right, because it is a downtown amenity that would be benefiting downtown businesses, and so that would be a question I would like to look at.
Well, that 2% has just been hit so hard in all these different areas. I don't know that there's going to be extra money.
The way that it was drawn up was a public-private partnership, and we had to finish the deal to finalize with the appraisal and everything to get to this point. They received an awful lot of money to build this garage as a public-private partnership, so I feel like we should stand up on our end of the deal and complete it and have the parking garage for the public to utilize. We've got to start advertising. I hope that it won't just be a couple times a year, Steve. I hope it'll be utilized throughout the year. I mean, even when you have events at the Mary C, that is very close proximity to where people can park there for events at the Mary C. So I think we would get our benefit for the dollars we would be investing.
Most of the people that probably are going to be using this parking garage is going to be probably tourists.
That too.
Agreed.
That's a possibility.
Would our PD be tasked with reviewing the security footage, I assume?
Yes. Yeah, we would have the camera system.
And back to that previous question on number 9 under ad valorem taxes. On the first sentence, it ends with the real property taxes attributable to the property. And above that, property is defined as the entire, not just our portion. Is that, am I misunderstanding?
The sentence, the whole sentence is the obligation of the lessee, which is the city, to either cause their portion of the premises to be exempt from the tax rolls, which is stated, or if they are unable to do so, to reimburse the lessor 85% of the real property taxes attributable to the property. We can certainly handle the tax abatement from the city's portion of the property. So this is an either-or type of situation.
With the money not secured from state funds and wherever, based on this would be a public-private entity, and if we drop the ball at this point, what's gonna happen when we go after another piece of money for a public-private entity, and they see that we've dropped this? And how's that gonna affect us in getting money in the future?
It definitely will not look good.
Yeah, I see your point, Karen, but I don't think any of us, before I was an alderman, I was all for the parking, but I didn't realize it came with a $8,000 or $10,000 a month fee for the city. I thought that the grants that they were getting, they were building us a parking garage, and that's what we were getting.
And the parking garage is only $1 a year, but.
Yeah. Steve, do you mind if I ask, where's that number that you keep coming up with monthly?
Well, don't we have budgeted 75,000?
Yeah, but that's just what we budgeted so that we could make sure we had it in the budget to take care of whatever we need.
Right. And then we've got that elevator that potentially could be costly, over the years. It's going to have to be maintained, and so I'm using the 75,000, as a number.
That's also our part of utilities and security and.
Correct.
Yeah.
That should be everything.
So I've got some things I wanted to highlight as part of just the documents that were presented. And maybe there's some clarity, but it seems like the lease agreement is saying we have 85%, but the restricted appraisal report is showing 70%. So I don't know why the two percentages are different. Just some other things I've pointed out, we probably need to specify that it is a grant-based public purpose thing, and I didn't really see that anywhere. And then I too had some ad valorem tax questions. I just put a Mississippi code just to make sure that that's being looked at, I think, the way we intended it to be used.
The appraisal had the percentage on it? for
The,
how much we were using?
Yeah, one was 85% and one in the restricted appraisal report said 70%. The lease has 85. There's just, it wasn't clear to me. Seemed like two different percentages for the amount of spaces.
Yeah, because I know they
That could
broke it
affect-
down by the number of spaces. and
Right, so I didn't know if that would affect.
Actually, I thought the percentage was higher than the 85 that we were actually using. But to make it across the board, it's 85 on everything, 85%. So, anybody else have any other questions about the?
I see this as something that we inherited as a board, and that we probably need to follow through with it.
I would tend to agree. I would like to see, is there a motion to execute the lease for the parking garage at 1515 Government Street?
I'd like the lease looked at, just to make sure. We give it a better review.
Needs to be done so we can move forward with the insurance, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, David did, I missed this 70% on the appraisal, so.
It appears to me that the appraisal does say, and that's based on the number of parking, the city's leasing 157 parking spaces out of 224 parking spaces, which is 70.1%. I don't know, because I didn't do the square footage calculation, how much of the surface area leading to those parking spaces ends up with, like, the driveway space that leads to those, and I don't see it in the appraisal. The 85% was basically in the negotiation process, as I understood it, was the floor, then just the floors, spaces on the ground floor, and then the
Off
city's
the ramp going up.
getting the ramps on the way up, plus the responsibility for the elevator. So that's where that 85% comes in, across the board at the lease. But there is 70.1% as far as the number of parking spaces I see in the.
I am totally fine if we want to pull this and make sure we have all these answered. I don't think that one more meeting will hurt.
I'll make a motion that we table the MOU parking garage lease agreement.
Second.
I got a motion by Alderman Hinton, second by Alderman Tillis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll hold that till the next meeting. All right, figure out where I'm at. All right, under new business, we got the tax abatement request from Lighthouse Assisted Living and Memory Care. Matthew?
Yes, the Lighthouse Assisted Living had a tax abatement through the county, and since they were annexed into the city, the abatement basically dissolved. They have come before and they would like to give a proposal and a speech on the reason why they would like to have the abatement. Bobby can entertain.
Yeah. Mr. Robert?
All right, good evening, Mayor, Board, appreciate the opportunity to be here. Robert Weigel, I'm with the law firm Alter, Weigel and Garside here in Ocean Springs. And I'm here tonight on behalf of Lighthouse Assisted Living and Memory Care on Ocean Springs Road. So by way of background, some years ago, the legislature passed a package of healthcare industry initiatives. These were aimed at related groups of medical providers, hospitals, entities like that are co-located or in the same areas, recognizing the synergies and the benefits of having these businesses that have impact in the healthcare industry and community in the same place. That had a package of different incentives that could be used for these, including things that are not related to the city, like tax credits. But one of those was discretion on the part of local governments to grant ad valorem exemptions. for these facilities. Now, there are some specific criteria that we had for those, and that there had to be a certain amount of investment, there had to be a commitment to a certain number of jobs created. Jobs number was 25 full-time jobs. I would note that the Lighthouse is over 100 full-time jobs out on Ocean Springs Road. And it was certified by the Mississippi Development Authority for 2 of its units, the assisted living and the memory care units were certified as eligible for this program because of their location and that they met the criteria in the statute there. The Jackson County Board of Supervisors granted 10-year ad valorem exemptions, one in 2019, one in 2022. So those were 10-year exemptions, 5 years or so left on the first one, about 7 years left on the other one. What Lighthouse is requesting, and the reason for this request, is that ad valorem exemption was taken into account in the business plans of this facility, and it was taken into account in the rent that the residents could be charged. That is the revenue stream that this business has, and increases in costs of this type have to be passed through to the residents. So anything as significant as this, it's going to have an impact on those rents. Now, when this was taken into the city back in April of 2024, if I remember correctly, so now it's subject to city taxes. What the Lighthouse would like requested for is an exemption that's coextensive with that which the county has already granted. And again, the basis for this is really consistency with what the organization was looking at the time that the commitment was made, the capital commitment, and other commitments were made to build this facility. And it has met all its marks, it's hit all its marks in terms of investment, in terms of jobs created. At the time that it started, it was in the county. The county saw fit and thought it was a good idea to grant those exemptions. We'd like to request that the city do the same thing. Again, the options here really are raise rents or to cut back on service and potentially get into standard of care, which is not something. The statute does allow a 10-year exemption. However, what the facility is asking for is something that's coextensive with what currently exists from the county. So that would be 5 years for the assisted living and then 7 years for the memory care units. So that is the proposal that's been presented to the board. I believe it's in the best interest of the residents out there, and of course, in the best interest of the city as well. I'm trying to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Robert?
I have one, and you just touched on it at the end.
Yes.
There is a 10-year statutory maximum,
There's a 10-year statutory maximum.
and you're asking for a 5 and 7 years, that'd be 12 years?
No,
That's what I'm missing.
Yeah, I didn't do a good job there, obviously, Alderman Pfeiffer. Let me say, so there are 2 units that were eligible, built at different times. The original units that were built were assisted living. So that was 2019, and the memory care units came later, so they have overlapping, but not, they're not the same.
So this is what's remaining of the 10 for each of them? Is that what we're looking at?
So
Okay.
5
Run
remaining for
consecutive.
assisted living, and then approximately 7. I think we'll have to talk to the county to get the exact figure on the time remaining, but that's very close.
Are there any plans to build any additional facilities?
I'm not privy to that, but I'd be happy to ask about that. And I know the answer to that.
Anybody else?
So that's, I guess my thing is, I just want to make sure you do check with the county, sorry. And I think does this require a resolution if it's a So that would all have to be answered before.
Yeah, I think we can get with Attorney Harris and make sure that we understand exactly when those exemptions end. That could be in the resolutions, and that's all.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
Can you read what the motion?
Matt, you got this? It should be on yours right here.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the city attorney to draft resolution approving the request for lighthouse assistant living and memory care for a 5-year 100% tax abatement and ad valorem taxes on improvements made on the property for Phase 1, and a 7-year 100% tax abatement for the city ad valorem taxes on improvements made on property for Phase 2.
I'd like to make another comment if it's not too late. I don't think it's fair to shoulder the city with the responsibility of figuring out or burdening the rest of the taxpayers with an abatement. I think that's not fair to the rest of the residents in the annexed area, everyday citizens that won't get an abatement, and their taxes will also be increased. I don't think that's a fair choice to give them. I would see it more as a government subsidy. I think that it's up to the business owner to make accommodations.
Okay. You got a motion? Do we have a second?
Really quickly, can you give me a little explanation on that Mississippi Healthcare Industry Zone Act? Is that not part of why you're entitled to this?
That's correct. That is the legislation. It was passed, gosh, I guess it's 2018 originally, and it was extended, I believe, in the last legislative session to cover this year.
So that
extended through 2026.
This facility fits that criteria, which is what triggers the application for abatement.
It's been certified by the MDA to fit those criteria.
That's the question.
All right, we got a motion by Alderman Hinton, second by Alderman Wade.
Did he finish this motion?
Yeah, he did. He did. Alderman Wade got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Any opposed? One nay? Okay, motion passed. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get that, Vicki? Okay. We have 6B. Is there a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the Alexander Van Loon Sloan Levens Farr PLLC, which we say ABL, city audit engagement letter contract for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2025, in the amount not to exceed $58,000.
So moved.
Got a motion by Alderman Hinton, second by Alderman Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? All right, we move on to consent agenda. Does anyone have any items to pull from consent?
I'm going to pull F.
Item F. Glasses on. Okay, do we have a motion to approve all except for item F?
Make a motion to approve all but item F.
Got a motion by Alderman Pfeiffer, second by Alderman Hinton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item F, Alderman Pfeiffer.
Yeah, just, I've got some things I think we maybe could improve on with loaning out equipment. So I'm giving you all, just a, I don't know if I gave you, is there 5? This is just, better accountability for loaning out equipment. Just had me thinking that, we just want to make sure we get it back in functioning condition. If we don't, how is that handled? And just an idea of, maybe making sure we have the serial number of the items that are going to and from. I don't think that was really touched on in the memo in our packet. So just, I guess, being better stewards of how we're going to loan this equipment.
What it is, I believe, we have a partnership with the MSA through the Mary C, and so they're going to actually be handling the equipment and being the responsible party, and it's kind of covered with our partnership with MSA, and so they're partnering with the county to do this Battle of the Bands at the fairgrounds for the citizens of Jackson County. So that should be
Got you on that, but just, there is a Mississippi code about when you donate or loan public property and how that has to be handled. So those were just some things I included in this memo, just to make sure we're all covered.
That would need to go before legal, and
I think they got a copy.
we got a copy of that, and just clarify all of that is covered.
I sent, I think there was one.
There you go.
We could probably entertain the motion with the, approval of the attorney with the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Dennis, second by Alderman Wade. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Item F, approved. David, if you would, just clarify all of that, and make sure it's covered, please. All right, we'll move on to department reports, docket of claims. Ms. Pfeiffer, I believe we have a motion. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to make a motion to add the Starks pay app number 1 for the new public works to amend the docket of claims.
Second.
Got a motion, and that is to add it to the amended docket of claim.
Yes.
Got a motion by Alderman Pfeiffer, second by Alderman Hinton. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Is that right?
And to approve the docket
And
of.
we'll make a motion to approve. All right, does anybody have any questions? That was a motion to add that to the docket.
Docket of claims.
So now, does anyone have any questions on the amended docket of claims? And if not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve docket of claims.
All right, we got a motion to approve the docket of claims.
Second.
Second by Alderman Tillis. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We need a motion to authorize the adjustment of water and sewer accounts due to the finding that the customers did not receive the benefit of the utility and the excess usage was due to unforeseen circumstances. Anyone have any questions about the sewer adjustments? If not, is there a motion to authorize the sewer adjustment?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Alderman Wade, second by Alderman Hinton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, is there a motion to adopt municipal compliance questionnaire for fiscal year 2025 and spread upon the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the municipal compliance questionnaire for fiscal year 2025.
Got a motion by Alderman Pfeiffer,
Second.
second by Alderman Stennis. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? All right, we need an addendum to AGJ's complete care agreement to add on-site technician at the police department. Chief Dye, you want to address that? Sure.
Good evening, everybody. So currently, the city does use AGJ services. We do have a person that comes through once a week as a walk through the PD. As our agency has grown technology-wise, we have about, between the, all the PCs at the police department and the mobile data terminals in the police vehicles, we have 80 computers that have to be maintained. So with this, we end up with problems such as having to wait for a callback or not having a technician on scene to be able to, or a IT specialist on scene to be able to help our officers and get things corrected in a timely manner. So this has really affected us. Lieutenant Fox kind of spearheaded dealing with the laptops in our vehicles that the officers use for NCIC and run all their programs. And he is not an IT guy. And he approached me a couple months back and said, I can't do this anymore. I mean, he's not an IT guy. I mean, he has his own training and accreditation to run. So at that time, I had approached Christine. We talked to AGJ about putting an on-site technician. Just for example, like Pascagoula PD, they have, I believe, 3 people on scene from AGJ that helps run their police department. So this would greatly help us, like I said, because we do have a total of 80 PCs. I don't think anybody in the city comes close.
And this is an on-site and not an on-call?
No, this is actually having somebody on site.
What's the cost of that?
It was listed in the memo, I believe.
Okay.
12.7 a month.
And this is within the budget? It not, again, won't take an amendment to the budget?
$2,500 per month added to the already.
Right. We'll be addressing amendments in the next couple months.
It's 13,000.
Okay. Thank you,
I
Chief.
believe we have Ms. Nikki Johns from ADJ here also, if anybody has any questions from her.
All right.
I think we're at a point to where with technology and everything we're at with our agency, that this is not a want, it's a need.
So,
Thank you,
Chief, so this will be somebody that's on site so many hours a week?
Monday through Friday, am I correct, Nikki, on that?
Well, they follow a.
Nikki, do you
hybrid
do you mind?
schedule.
Thank you.
Yes, so this employee, they would report to our service director, they would be managed by AGJ, and they would follow AGJ's schedule, which is a hybrid schedule. It's Monday through Thursday, 7 to 5, and then 8 to 5 on Fridays, but every other Friday off. But you also still have access to the other 38 people on our team at all times. This is just somebody, this is hands on site. A lot of times when the officers need something, they're off on another call, and they're in their cars already, and this is somebody there that can be those hands on the other side of the computer to press a remote in or fix something, so.
Thank you. Anybody else have another question for Nikki, or we good? All right, do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to AGJ's complete care agreement on on-site technician at the police department.
Second.
You got a motion by Alderman Wade, second by Alderman Pfeiffer, all in favor?
That was Jolie.
Oh, Julie, I'm sorry. Alderman Messenger. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now it's time for our general public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 5 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Please identify yourself before speaking. Anybody? All right, we'll move
Wait,
to.
we got one.
Oh. Oh, you're too late. Sit back down.
Hey everyone, I'm Haley Martin, and I just want to tell you thank y'all for your vote of confidence in the capital grant. We're so excited to serve y'all and to work together. And we are truly vested in this town, and as I know each and every one of you are, so we're just so thankful. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, we clock in at 7:30 in the morning. You can do it. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Haley. All right, we move on to Mayor and Alderman's forum. Alderman Tillis.
Let's see, I don't have much. I missed cruising the coast, but I was on vacation up in Canada. Heard it was a great time. Everybody did a good job. So looking forward to the next Peter Anderson Festival.
You missed the Duncan booth.
I heard about it. Bet people paid double money for Bobby. Heard what, somebody paid $200 just?
No, just 100. They paid 100. Next year the price is going up.
And then Julie, you were a hit too, huh?
I was dunked more than I would have ever imagined.
So, looking forward to the Peter Anderson Festival. I'll be hands-on. That's all I have.
Thank you, Steve. Alderman Stennis.
Yes, I'd like to say a big thank you to Public Works and Police Department, Fire Department for a great job done at cruising the coast. It was my first one to work, and I thought it went really smooth. City looked great the day before and the day after, and we appreciate it. One thing I'd like to put in the workings is possibly for us to get some better or more concrete procedures for putting things on the agenda and for hiring, and seems like it's done a different way every time. Every time I look at it, and I would just like something more concrete. Maybe we could get together, a few of us, and just put something.
I'd be on board with that, especially like the RFPs and things. We don't really know well enough how that works.
Just something for the future. And we're also wanted to let you know we haven't forgotten about downtown and the safety issues down there. And we do have a meeting scheduled on Wednesday to look at some of that. So that's not that hasn't been just put on the back burner. It's going to happen. And hopefully we can make some adjustments, some real positive ones with the help of the bar owners and the help of city officials, police department, get something going on that.
Thank you, Mark.
Alderman Wade?
Yeah, thanks for the police, the fire, and public works. Cruising the coast went great. The next thing I have is 286 McCool, Daryl, and Alan. Could y'all get together to find out how we can get this fellow's fence put back together?
You never filed a permit, just been told 4 times. Yeah, file for permit.
I think he was waiting on.
Take you one.
Huh?
Well, yes, I can take you one.
Well, he was just waiting. He called me yesterday asking me. And
We'll
I
just
said,
talk to him tomorrow.
okay,
Give moving on your permit, take you.
that's all I had.
All right. Ms. Pfeiffer?
Just wanted to talk about, and thank you for staying on top of the code enforcements in Ward 4, Daryl. And I noticed Hunter Drive has a upcoming court date for later in November, so that was good to see a little progress there. And then just to make sure we're not also not keeping this in the forefront, we had said the tree canopy committee, we would do a public workshop, and I think last meeting I'd handed out just a general draft for us to start slicing up and looking at. But if we can possibly consider holding that meeting maybe between our first and second November meetings, if that's something, maybe after today, we could send an email what dates might look good. I'd like to kind of take the next step on where we're going to go with this tree canopy committee, and I believe the motion was to hold a public workshop.
All right.
So I'll send out an email, I guess, and
We can get,
figure out how we'll get that
Lori
circulated.
Lori can contact all and try to find a date
Great.
everybody can work with.
That's it.
All right, Ms. Messenger?
I would also like to echo from Cruising the Coast comments. It was more fun than I've had in months. It was a blast, and I'm already looking forward to next year. I'll say the people that came in were some of the most respectful, courteous, and appreciative people that I was thoroughly impressed by them. It was a lovely experience, and I enjoyed working with all of y'all. It was just, I felt honored to have worked it, so thank you. And thank you, Alan, for putting out the precious Halloween decorations. I appreciate that. Those are cute at Lakeview and Parktown. I'm sure the guests and the residents appreciate that. On a different note, I don't know, Mr. Harris, you may know, is it possible to request a balance sheet for income revenues for the Lighthouse Assisted Living? Is that a possibility? Do you know?
I'll certainly look into that, and I'll talk to Mr. Weigel about it when we're doing the resolution.
Okay, thank you.
And see what information I can get. Absolutely.
That's all.
All right, Mr. Hinton?
All right, with the sentiments of Cruising the Coast, it was an awesome year, the biggest that Cruising the Coast has had. I do have a few questions. Down at the bridge, the mural down there, the rocks that were put up there look really good, Alan. Thank you all for doing that. Diving off into, there's a couple of things. Paving on Government Street, Warren paving, there is several locations that need to be cut back on the curb and gutter. What are we looking at?
Where are the locations? They've cut
Okay.
some of them.
Government Street Grocery, in front of Ocean Springs Lumber, from Ward to Denny.
Government Street Grocery, it doesn't drain anywhere.
That needs to be cut back, because what's happening right now, it's flowing back into their patio. That drain that comes across the sidewalk right there drains their patio, and now it's dammed up where it's pushing back. And the owner of the property has reached out to me in great concern with it, and would like to see that if anything like what was cut down in front of Pleasance down there, cut a little sliver out to let it drain. So I'd like to see that done, if possible. And then Ocean Springs Lumber, they both asked, the owner and the manager has asked to have it looked at.
And that won't be a whole lot to grind that out on that section, but the one at Government Street Grocery, that's a pretty long.
I don't know where it's gonna go, but we'll do it.
I mean, if anything, it just cut back. It's he sent pictures and all, and they didn't have a problem with the patio flooding. Now the patio's flooding. So I'd like to have that addressed. That's something, so where are we at on the sidewalk, left completions on that and everything? I know the money was running out, that was being used up.
I think it's
I
expended.
think it's done.
It's done, okay. That was a
I'm waiting
question.
on their last invoices.
Alrighty. And the tree canopy committee, I do agree with Shannon on that. We'll get a date set and let everybody know for a work session. And I'd like to thank all the department heads and the city staff. So thank you.
That's it. Well, I'm gonna keep praising the crews on the coast. But I tell you, I want everybody to really realize how much work, public work, put into getting this city looking the best I've ever seen it look. I think y'all put out the effort, and it wasn't just downtown. It was from the bridge to Highway 57. I think it really looked good with the cruisers coming through town. I think the effort was very much recognized. I for one, definitely recognize it, and I think the cruisers, every one of them, they said the city's beautiful. So I think y'all deserve a lot of the credit, and thank y'all very much, Alan, for that work y'all put in. The biggest crowd we've ever had, 10,334 cars registered. Everybody was asking, do we have 10,000 here in Springs? I don't know if we did, but it sure felt like it. It felt like every parking spot was full for 2 days straight. Cynthia, I want to thank y'all with the chamber for all the work y'all put into this. The Friday night event, the Chicks Picks, I've never seen such a crowd. I mean, you go back and look at the picture that the Bag of Donuts put out, and I mean, it's as far as you can see, it's just people. And it was, I don't know how many people, but it was the most I've ever seen.
It was record crowds, and Bag of Donuts said they loved it so much they would actually love to come back next year.
Well, they put on a good show, and they entertained all ages. It wasn't just one at all. So thank y'all, and I was looking this morning, in 2021, I think it was like a $36 million impact.
For Ocean Springs alone, cruising the coast is a $6 million economic impact for just Ocean Springs alone. You're thinking of.
The coastwide was a 36.1 in 2021.
And we're still gathering the numbers of where people came through Ocean Springs and things like that. They came from all over the United States for this, and they even came in earlier than last year.
And I had a handful of people that expressed concern that it hurt business and all of that, but I don't see how it did or where it did. The people that don't enjoy it, I said, please take your vacation while they're here, because the city of Ocean Springs needs them to come to town. I really think that impact is it's really good for the coast and for the city.
And we've heard from numerous businesses how much it helped them and appreciative that they were to have. We've heard a couple the other way, but the majority was.
So, moving on to the trick or treat on the track, that was fantastic. The number I was told out of one gate, just one gate, they said they were counting, there was over 1,400 people came through one gate. And there's about 5 gates, I think, for people to come in. The place was packed when I got there. Now, the economic impact on that, we're going to have to double the price on them baseballs, because I had to climb up out of that dunk tank so many times that it was a lot. We can at least get $5 for 3 balls. Come on, $1 for 3 balls wasn't enough. But it was fun. We had a great time cutting up with the kids. Yes, it was adults that paid the $100 to dunk me first, but there was one little boy that was the top thrower. I mean, he just kept hitting it. You'd get up on the thing and he'd turn.
They recruited him.
Yeah, I think. But I kind of think we might ought to move that spot back a little bit too. Standing from me to Stevens a little close. But anyway, it was a blast. I'm looking forward to Peter Anderson. I hope everybody on this board, puts some time in and goes out and helps. I know Steve was working one of the booths last year. And it takes an army to put this on, and everybody putting in a little bit helps. So thank everybody for what you do, and let's continue pushing it forward with Peter Anderson, because it is the best arts and crafts festival in the southeast, I know.
Top 50 in the nation.
There you go. So
You want to mention the Witches Ride and Pet Parade?
that's right. So yes, I understand my dog's going to be in the pet parade for the Witches Ride that morning. The Witches Ride is always a great hit, and I mentioned this morning too. Big St. Louis, you know, they had the Witches Walk, and they have almost 1,000 witches. We had 400 plus last year, and wow, I can't imagine 1,000 witches walking through town. That'd be something. But the Witches Ride is a lot of fun. I think it takes the place, you know, for the trick or treat down the street for the kids. You know, the kids get to stand there, and the witches come by and hand out the candy. It's a great event. I will be there enjoying it. So come out and support the witches. I guess it would be the Witches Walk, bike, and ride.
And Flash Mob this year.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. So anyway, looking forward to that on the 25th. Everybody come out. That's all I've got, and appreciate it. That we move on. No executive session. I guess what we need is a motion to adjourn until 6 p.m. on November 4th.
So moved. I'll second.
Got a motion by Alderman Stennis, second by Alderman Pfeiffer. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Thank you.